guys, welcome to my channel. So I was talking on my stories today on Instagram, and I was talking about the difference of how some people are able to lose weight and some people are always stuck for years and unable to lose weight because they can't overcome something in their mindset that's stopping them from losing weight. So I thought I'd make this video to talk about the subject for a longer time than just on my stories. So this is the difference between person A that can lose weight and person B that can't lose weight. We all know that we need to do a calorie deficit and exercise in order to lose weight. But what's the difference between person A and person B? Person A has a stronger mindset, while person B is still struggling with their mindset and being able to stay consistent, stay disciplined for a long enough time to actually see results. And here's where people get stuck, and this is what kept me stuck for a really, really long time, because I never truly thought that I was able to lose weight. And I went on for years and years since I was a teenager trying to lose weight. I would always lose the same 5 kgs and then gain it back all over again. It was like a never-ending cycle, and I never felt confident. I've always been on the bigger side. I've always been bigger than my friends, bigger than people in my class, and I always just felt like, you know, the extra friend, the chubby one that no one would even talk to. And even as a teenager, even boys would ignore me. So I always kind of felt like that. And some of the things that have helped me personally to change my mindset and shift my mindset to I can lose weight, I can do this, and actually see the results that I'm proud of today, I'm gonna share 3 things that really helped me personally. So the first thing was learning how to say no. For a really long time, a lot of things that were making me gain weight was going out and drinking with everyone. And everywhere I got invited, I used to live in Dubai at the time, and everywhere I got invited, I didn't know how to say no. There's always parties, social events, and I had FOMO. I had fear of missing out, and I never wanted to miss out on an event. I loved to go out and party. I loved drinking at that time, and I could never say no. And I could never say no to parties, alcohol, cigarettes, or food. I always had this mindset around, oh, I'm gonna miss out, or if I don't finish my meal, I can't waste the food. I grew up, with Middle Eastern parents. I'm Iraqi, and we were always told to finish all the food on our plate. So I grew up with this, and I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know where my limit was. I always used to push it to the limit. And when I finally learned how to say no and get over the fear of FOMO is when a lot of things in my life started changing. And that all started with first saying no to my friends. They'd be like, do you want to go out today? And I'll be like, no. And I'll be sitting at home thinking, I want to be there, have FOMO. But then I started thinking more about, I had a goal, and I kept that goal and that vision really, really, really clearly in my mind. And I said to myself, it's all going to be worth it. I talked to myself in a different way. And I kept onto it until I started to see some results. And once you start seeing some results, then you can keep going on for longer, because the results will actually be your motivation when you see a bit of changes. But the hardest part is actually getting to those changes before you've even seen the results and staying patient enough to see some progress. I think that is probably the hardest part, the beginning when you first start, because that's the time when you want to give up before you've even seen any results or reward. So that was the first thing. The second thing is letting go of people that no longer serve me. So that's something really difficult. I'm not telling you to cut off everyone in your life, but I did have to cut off a lot of people, and one of them was my ex-husband. So I was married, and I went through a divorce, and at that time I felt like we no longer aligned with each other, and it was just something I had to let go in order to become this future self that I had envisioned that I wanted to be. So when I actually had to do that, it's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life, but it was necessary. And everything in my life changed to the better once I let go of certain people, because those certain people will always hold you back. And when you don't align with someone, when you're not on the same energy or frequency, you're not going to be able to grow. There's not enough room for you to grow. It's like being in a garden that's filled with people and you're a flower and you can't blossom or find your way if that garden is full of weeds. So that's just something you have to do. You have to take out those weeds in order for you to flower and blossom. And then the last one is something that I did during COVID. And actually that's one of the reasons what helped me to lose weight and become this person, because I had the chance to isolate myself. And it was in that isolation that I was forced to think about what I really wanted in life. Because think about it, we're always around people, family members and friends, and they're always giving us our opinions of what we should do with our life, how we should live. So that was the first time I was able to just think clearly on my own and just think about what I really, really wanted and my why, and why I wanted to lose weight. Like, what would it make a difference to my life? Yes, I would look better, but is that it? It wasn't just about that. It was more about becoming the person that I wanted to be. I wanted to take on this new identity and reinvent myself and become this confident person that I was proud of, that I could accomplish this goal, that I could do it on my own. And I know that we all have the power within us to change. There is just something maybe blocking us or holding us back, and everyone has different triggers and traumas that hold us back from getting ahead in life. And one of the things that really, really helped me, it is going to sound weird, but during COVID, we were on lockdown and I was in the UK in London at the time. And I decided that I wanted to do a silent day. Like, I know you've probably heard of these silent retreats where you go and you don't talk to anyone, you don't use your phone, you don't read anything, you don't listen to music, and you're just fully silent without any technology, without any human interaction. I mean, you can still look at people, but you can't communicate with them in any way, not through sign language and not through, your mouth. So I was with my mum and sister at the time, and I was in our UK home. And I told them on that morning, I'm going to have a silent day. I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm going to go to the park. I'm going to do a walk and I'm going to meditate. I'm going to come back home. Don't talk to me. So I did it for a full 24 hours. And that really helped me get clarity on my life, especially at a time when the whole world was kind of in chaos and my life was a bit chaotic. I was not employed at that time. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And I just needed that clarity, that silence, to just understand my true self and understand what I wanted from my life, what I expected from myself, what my goals and ambitions. So I went to the park. It was like a 1 hour walk, and I meditated for around, I didn't even have a clock at the time, for like 3 hours, I would say. And I had a mat and I had a little food with me, some fruits. And I stayed there the whole day. I sat in the sunshine. It was really nice. I just looked at people. I didn't interact or talk with anyone. And then I came back home and I sat in my room and meditated more. And then I went to bed. And I just felt so refreshed the next day. If it's something you want to try, I would recommend it. It's a nice time to recharge and reboot and just think about what you truly want and just sit with yourself. Go back to yourself, your inner source, the source of life that lives within us. Meditate, ruminate about what you really want. And that's something that will really help you. So this is just 3 tips that I'm sharing with you. I hope this is helpful and useful to anyone going through a weight loss journey and feeling stuck in their life at the moment. And if you like this, then please subscribe and DM me on Instagram if you have any questions. And yeah, have a good rest of your day.